Hello everybody, this is Mr. Kinney. We're going to go over the number of atoms in a formula paper, and I'm just going to go over a few of the more difficult ones. You should have had this completed. For my substitute, if at any point if you need to pause this, push the enter button on the dock camera. Okay, so use the enter button. This is just for my sub. That will pause it. If you actually push the pause button, it'll restart the video. So starting off on this, sodium chloride, NaCl. Well, there's just one sodium, one chlorine. There's two atoms. Okay, problem solved. Right over here, we've got two hydrogens, one sulfur. If it helps you if you want to put in a coefficient, a subscript 1, go for it. Now you just add up the subscripts. 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 2. That should be 7 altogether. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 atoms. So those are pretty straightforward. Now let's come down here to this one. So number 6. Now for this one, we've got hydroxide. Now OH, that's what OH is, hydroxide. Now there's 2 atoms in there. So I'm just going to put above here, there's 2 atoms in there altogether. But we've got 2 of those hydroxides. So now we got to do 2 times 2. That's going to be 4 altogether of the hydroxides. And then we just have 1 barium. So altogether we end up with 5 atoms on there. Over here, okay, let's take a look at this one. See if I can get some more light on the subject. So we've got tricalcium diphosphate. That's the big fancy name for that one. So when we go to figure that out, well, let's see. I'm going to first work inside the parentheses. We've got 4 oxygens, 1 phosphorus. There is 5 atoms in one of those phosphate polyatomic ions, but we've got 2 of those because we got the bracket here. So now we've got 5 times 2 is there's 10 atoms in there. Plus now we've got to add the 3 atoms from there. You've got 13 atoms in there altogether. And let's do dialuminum trisulfate. Okay, so we got SO4, 4 oxygens, 1 sulfur. In that one polyatomic ion, there are 5 atoms. Now we've got to multiply that by, we've got to 3 of those in there, so 5 times 3 is going to be 15 atoms just in those 3 sulfates. And then we're going to add it to our 2 atoms of aluminum, so altogether you have 17. So what's coming up here is that we're going to be starting to work with balancing equations, and you have to be able to look at an equation and know how many of each atom are in there. And I'm going to come over to here, and let's see. This one over here, we've got this number 11. Okay, we got NO3, and so that's going to be 3 oxygens, 1 nitrogen, so that's going to be 4 in every one of those. And since we have 2 of those, I'm just multiplying 4 times 2. It's going to be 8 atoms in the nitrates plus 1 copper. We've got 9 in there. So that's how you work those out. I'll do one more with you, and then I'm going to end this one, and you should have the rest of these completed. Next time I'm here, NH4, that's ammonium, by the way. And so let's see, we got 4 hydrogens, 1 nitrogen. That makes for a total of 5 atoms in that one polyatomic ion. Now the subscript 3 there is telling us that we've got 3 of those. So 3 times 5 is 15 atoms in those 3 ammoniums. Then we've got PO4. Okay, well then we got 1 phosphorus, and then we got 4 oxygens. So that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 in there. So that's how you go through working those. And I'm going to, with that amount there, if you can go through and work through these. And just make sure that, that's pretty easy. That's just add up the subscripts there. That's not going to be anything. Remember, do these first. Find out how many is inside of the parentheses. Multiply it by 2, because there's 2 of those. That's, by the way, it's called acetate. But anyway, that's just 2 acetates, 1 magnesium. So with that, we can go ahead and actually what I'll have you do is I'm going to ask the sub to hit the enter button here, and sub, what I'd like you to do is just give the students a few minutes, walk around, make sure they've got, give them a couple minutes to make sure they got those all finished, and then I'll have the key here for you to show them at the end. So please pause. And